Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to proceed to our last chapter, which is introduction to database. So, in order for us to create a database, we are going to use the Microsoft Access. Okay, so now I have opened my Microsoft Access, and in order for you to start, you need to start with a blank database. Okay. So double click this one, and then you are going to see this interface. Okay, so as a start, I'm going to show you on how to key in the data in each field. Okay, you can see here we have one table. You may have more than one table and save it as one database. Okay, you may rename the table. Okay, so this is the ID. So the ID also known as the primary key. If you have watched the video previously, you will know this one is automatically assigned. Okay, so this is the field. So we are going to fill this one. Okay, can you see on the top, this is the home tab. Okay, we have the create tab, we have the external database tools, hubs, field, and table. But for your syllabus, we only learn the basic one. Okay, so now as a start, I'm going to show you on how to key in the data. Okay, so I have a data of a student. Okay, so this is the data 1 2 3 4 5 6 point. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so this is what we call the data sheet view. Okay, for your database in Microsoft Access, you have the data sheet view and you also have the design view. Okay, you can see this one, data sheet view and design view. Data sheet view where you can see all the data in each field. So this is our first field, and in design view, okay, I'm going to rename this one. This table, I'm going to rename this table as a student name, a student info. Okay. Okay, see, the table has changed its name to student info. Okay, so this is what we call the design view will look like. Okay, so for each type we can adjust here. Okay, the new value. For this one, new value increment, so you're going to get the ID or primary key ascending order, number 1 to 3 and so on. Okay, so we go back to the data sheet view. I'm going to add the first what we call the first field. You have the first field, which is the ID, and then we're going to add the next view. I think this one is quite long text, I think. Okay, for the name. Okay, so the first field is the name. Okay, this is what we call the field. And then when so when you put the data here, okay, so this data is the data about this one, the name, the field of the name. And then the next field is short text, which is the group. Next one is state. I'm going to follow the data that I have before. And then what else? Okay, next one is zakat. Okay, I use the information about my previous student, just use the name only. Okay, it's not related to the zakat actually. Okay, so this one is short text. Okay, income. Okay, okay, so now we have filled in the field. Oh, okay, I'm going to undo this one. We cannot undo this one, but we can delete this one. Okay, I'm not going to have this one. Okay, never mind. I need to okay, I'm going to show you on how to insert this one. Okay, Okay, so this is the data sheet view. I'm going to show you what happened in the design view. Okay, you can see here, auto number, long text. Okay, what happened when you want to add a new field here? Yes, you can add telephone, but I don't want to have it, just want to show it to you. Okay, so this one is number. Okay, you can assign here in detail. Okay, there's a 3 dot here, you can see, you can assign. Okay, so this is the telephone number, and then when you go back to the datasheet view, yes, save the table. Yes, you can see here you have the telephone number, but actually I don't want this info. Just leave it here. Okay, so give me a time so that I'm going to key in the data first before I show you to the next one. Okay, so I have filled in the information for this one. Okay, so now you have the info. Okay, the next one. Okay, so this is again what we call the data sheet view, and I'm going to show you the design view. So this is the design view. Okay, so the description. Okay, this one is optional, but this one you can assign this one name, full. Okay, maybe full name of the student. Okay, the group, students, group. Okay, state, student state. Okay, daripada which state. Okay, this one is available, available for zakat. Okay, so the question will be yes or no. So this one is not the student's income, but their parents' income. Okay, number. This one is telephone number. Okay, so you can reach this one. You have detail. Okay. Okay. This is what we call the design view. So now we are going to go back to data sheet view. Yes. Save the table. Okay. So what happened when you have another table? Okay, just go to the button create, and then you just create the table. Okay, so for example, I'm going to have a new table with okay, you need to add this one first. Maybe interest. Okay, before you rename this one. Okay, you can rename object table. Oh, okay. I cannot rename this one because I opened the table, so I need to close first. Yes. Okay, and then you can rename this one. I'm going to rename this one as student interest. Okay. Okay, again, you're going to have a lot of tables here, but for today we are going to teach you on how to create only one table. Okay, so now let's proceed to this one. I have just teach you on how to create a new table. Okay, so now according to your individual assignment, you need to give me a print in the form of design view and data sheet view. Okay, so this is the data sheet view. Okay, so you need to print this one. Okay, the first one, and then you need to give me you need to print your individual assignment in the design view. So this is the design view. Okay, so this is the first thing that you need to know because it is related to your individual assignment. Okay, I'm going to go back to the data sheet view. Okay, and then you need to print one record in the form view. How we are going to create this one into a form? We go to the create button. Okay, that create tab. We have table here. We have insert new table. We are going to have a query. We have a create form and also a report. So in our syllabus, your individual assignment, you need to have a query and also you need to have a report. And another one, you need to have a form. Okay, so just choose the table. Okay, not this one. Okay, just cancel this one. Okay, so you go to the student info and we are going to create a form by choose the word form. Ta-da! Okay, so you have the form of the student information. Okay, so you need to print one record in the form view. So you are going to print in this form. Okay, the student info table in the form or in other word dalam bentuk form. This is the form. Okay, in the form of form. Okay, so you need to have this one print out. Okay, this is related to your individual assignment, the requirement. Okay, so we have done this one, the form. You can see here, this is the symbol table and this is the symbol form. Okay, the next part is queries. Queries, in other words, we call it as a filter. So when you choose the query, you need to assign certain thing, or you're going to filter certain thing. So I'm going to show you on how to create a query. So we are going just choose the simple query wizard. Okay, so now the first query, I want to have the student number, the ID, the primary key. Okay, you can see that the primary key, there's a key there, the name. I don't want to choose the I'm going to cancel this one first. Okay, we are going for your individual assignment, you are going to have 2 to 3 queries. So we go to the first one. I'm going to reset back again. So I just want, okay, the first query, we want the student ID, the name, and also the group. Okay, we are going to only have this one, and then you go to the next. Okay, so this is the first query. We are going to rename this one is query student info. You can modify. Okay, you can see this one. Okay, so this is the query in the form of what we call in the form of the query lah. Okay, but I want you to have, wait, okay, I want you to show, go to the home. This one is in the form of data sheet. I want you to see in the design view. Okay, you can see this one. Okay, this is the query. You can see it with tick here, so we just need this one. So you need to print this design view. Okay, print, you need to print all the queries in the design view. This is the design view, so we can know whether you tick correctly or not. Okay, go back to the datasheet view. Okay, this is the first query, so I'm going to have another query. So let's go to the query. The next one, a simple query. So now what happened to my query? Oh, okay. You need to choose the table first, okay, and then you just choose query. Okay, so that you can have all the list. Okay, so now I'm going to choose the student ID. Yes, I want to choose the state, and I want to choose the, sorry, we want to choose the name. Okay, go back this one and then choose the state. Okay, next. Okay, so this is what we call in the form of design view. So you choose the, oh sorry, did we rename this one? No, I'm not rename this one yet. Go back to the datasheet view. Okay, we can rename. Can we rename this one? Okay, so I want to sort the student's name. Okay, go to the file. Okay, no need to highlight this one. Okay, for query number 2, student info query number 2, after this, for your individual assignment, you are going to rename the query. Okay, so for this one, we are going to require you to have this query, but you need to arrange the name of the student alphabetic order. So just choose, we can choose this one, or you cannot choose this one because of the student name, but when we choose the state, we are going to sort from A to Z. Okay, so you can see this one. Okay, and then this is the form of data sheet, and then go to the design view. Okay, student info, you have the name and also the state. Okay, then go back to the table of student info, and we are going to have another query, which is we are going to choose the student. I'm not going to use the student ID. I'm going to choose the name. I'm going to choose the zakat, and I'm going to choose the income. Next. Okay, so this one I'm going to rename this one as student zakat info, and then finish. Okay, so this is the query of the zakat info. So I'm going to arrange the income of the parents from the lowest to the highest. Okay, so you can see when the income is 1,500 or 1,500, you are available to get the zakat. Okay, this is just example. Okay, I'm just using my previous student. I'm not sure whether this student's name still in my class or not. Okay, and then again you need to print in the form of design view. So you need to print this one so that we know you are query the correct thing, which is the student info for zakat, and also the income. Okay, so we have completed this one, and lastly you are going to have a report. Now go to the home button, go to the table of the student info, and then go to the create and choose a report. So which report do you want to have? Okay, so this is the report for the student as general, but if you want to have the query, you choose the query. Okay, and then create the report for this query. Okay, so now you're going to have this report, and just can print out this one. Okay, very simple. Actually, in our previous slide, we have learned about the relationship. Okay, but I don't think we are going to apply that one to you, but just want to show you what is the relationship. Okay, so I'm going to go to this just what we call additional information for you. So we are not going to apply this one. Go to the home. Where is it? I'm looking for the relationship. Okay, so that's a relationship. Okay, so what is the relationship? You have one-to-one and one-to-many. For example, oops, I'm going to use the table. Okay, student info and student interest. Do we have the table here? Oh, okay. Okay, so we are going to make sure that the ID is the same. So yes, okay, so we are going to make what we call a link between this ID and this ID. So when you have ID number 1, so when we put number 1, we know number 1 is referring to Borhan, for example, and then what are the interests of the Borhan. This is what we call the database. So the same thing happen to your student ID number. When we have your student ID number, it refer to a lot of database. For example, database of your result, academic result, database to your fee payment. Okay, the same thing goes to your IC. So this is what we call the relationship one-to-one and one-to-many. Okay, usually we use one-to-many, whereby you use your student number, then we can retrieve a lot of information, including your college, right? Okay, so we are not going to learn this one, just for additional information, but I'm not going to ask you to do this in your individual assignment. Okay, so that's it for now as the basic of database. A very simple one for you, not too much, because maybe you are going to learn this in detail during your degree. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you so much, and if you have any question, you may ask me. Okay, Assalamualaikum.